Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aleksey Trefilov, CEO of ELMA 365, and today we'll discuss the role of low-code technologies in digital transformations. Goal for transformation for financial institutes, and look through some examples from our practice. Just a few words about my company. We produce the solution for easy digital transformation, and we help more than 2,000 companies to perform better. That make us the leading BPMS, document management, and low-code technology in Russia and CIS countries. We have a huge banking expertise as well. There are some of our clients from finances. There are Sberbank, for example, Capital Bank, Azerbaijan, MKB, Alpha Bank structures, and many others. Yes, we are really proud of our clients. Digital transformation is a modern trend. Let me remind you that transformation isn't equal to automation. It's about some kind of radical changes. It's about using IT to get some new value, new products, new way to perform, etc. And what kind of radical changes could we mean discussing banking? Judging by our experience, I could divide all the projects into four groups. First is about building your own fintech ecosystem across various products. Second is about transformation towards service for external ecosystem. Third is about providing new services for your end clients. And fourth is about transformation of costs. It's all about radical changes, and it's all about doing business. I mean that there is a purpose of business and business processes. IT isn't primary here. So we need both huge IT resources to run these projects, as well as huge impact of our analysts and different kind of business users. And for sure, having such a big team will have some communication traps when we could receive not really that we expected. Because IT could understand the idea in some distorted way, as well as business users aren't always great in writing technical documentation. We call it like broken forms, pretty common situation. And since that kind of projects are more about business than IT, we should make them analyst-driven and business users-driven, not IT staff-driven. But how? Solution is using low-code tools. There are, in fact, a lot of different solutions in the world of low-code, in the world of no-code, that allow non-technical staff to build application by themselves. Using mouse, we just could build banking applications from ready-to-use bricks. And in case of ELMA 365, we could build business applications, business processes, documents, reports, dashboards without line of code. Of course, as CEO of ELMA 365, I use our product to represent the whole low-code industry, but the idea is pretty common for the whole industry, and competitive solutions could be used with the similar effect. Okay. What is an idea of low-code applications? There is a typical map of business apps development. Our business team could generate a lot of great ideas. Some of them could be even documented. Usually we have piles of ready to implement technical documentations, different kind of ideas. But then we have a very thin bottleneck. Development. There are always very few amount of developers. We always feel some kind of lack of developers in any businesses, in fact. So we have less amount of ready solutions, bad time to market, which could be pretty huge, and team misunderstanding mistakes. Since low code helps users business users and analysts to build prototypes and real solutions. We have not only more ideas released, but we have higher quality of ideas implementation. We could implement more amount of iterations, fix more bugs, and to see result as it is, not stepping across the whole process every time, because we could see all changes immediately. And we could perfect our solution because more amount of iterations. And that changes the whole development process, every step. As a result, we could provide more solutions with higher quality, with better time to market, with better user interfaces. I mean, everything is better with this such paradigm, since we create solution for our business and customers. And this is the real game changer. The idea is to give the power to analysts and business users from IT in building applications. Let's take a look at some of examples, and this is about leasing pipeline, or as we call it, leasing conveyor. This is a complex and pretty complicated process, and we have some kind of ready-to-use solution, but since every bank has its unique business processes, we've never had some standalone implementation, because banks analysts have to adopt the solution building, in fact, it's almost from the scratch, just using constructors with visual instruments that could build the final solution from ready-to-use bricks without coding. And we could offer them sometimes some solution, but this is pretty common that every project we have to start from the scratch, because when users receive take the idea that they could build everything from the scratch, they usually take these rules and start to build solutions again. The scheme shows that there are very different tasks for development in the process, and it's all about different kind of skills. It's about some interface tasks to parse the data from our messengers and websites. Discussing lead captures, approval tasks. It's about document management systems, usually scoring tasks, document generation tasks, etc. And in case of standalone development, we have to code all these integrations from the scratch. There is just one step in our process, but it is way more easy with low code. Instead of developing, we could think about business and processes. The same thing is with interfaces. Since we release some new bank products, at the time we have to build new interfaces for users, and with a nice calculators and dashboards, it's quite hard to support with standalone development. But it's very easy to build and support that with low-code tools. Very often we need to integrate with some external services, for example, for scoring. In case of low-code tools, we connect that service once and then we could call it without coding. It's quite easy for analysts to use such services. And if we need to use some unsupported service, bank IT developers could develop an integration. And since that moment, we will receive some standalone brick for our local system. Since that moment, we could use it at the new detail, the new brick. And since that moment, analysts could use it again. And we don't need to carry on old school interfaces. With form builders, it's possible to create an information space that is really comfortable to work. And we usually face huge amount of unique requirements in document processing. All the templates could be created with banks analysts without any help from developers' side. And we also noticed that before using low code, our clients had very few amount of reports and dashboards. It was very complicated to develop, to code all that. And since analyst-driven low-code tools provide reports without coding, our clients usually receive more transparent processes and huge amount of data to work with. I mean that this is about providing the site which is completely interested in the result with more tools to measure their efforts and to understand in which direction should they change their processes, their solutions, in order to provide better solutions. And in fact, that could sound pretty complicated, but low-code tools aren't about long and high-weight projects. We could implement the solution with a huge amount of iterations, just step by step. For example, the example that I just described, leasing conveyor could be implemented within 2-3 months. It's all about some basement. The processes, scoring procedures, documents processing, some kind of security controls that already could be used in real practice. Then within 1 or 2 months, we could get deeper in finances, in financial aspects and documents achieving. Then we could get deeper in insurances and commissions. It's another 2-3 months. And then we could polish the process with some final procedures. There is some average project that we in fact implemented many times, but every company should to pass through this path by themselves. And usually it's a path of education when you understand in which direction should you transform actually, because sometimes, not sometimes, always, it's pretty hard to understand the final point in our path, because we should measure all the time, understand some results of our changes and efforts, and we should be really flexible building all that. And then we, as I told, that in fact all that path was for in fact, the client implemented the system by themselves, because it's very important to use in-house staff, analysts and business users, not some external teams, integrators, etc. Because our team just participated as mentors, but and some kind of coach, and sometimes helps with development. But center of excellence of any digital transformation should be inside the company in order to run it correct. And just final process could be used in the future and could be developed and improved any moment. So just we could connect, we could improve it with voice bots, text bots, just to reduce our costs and increase performance. And we could add some robotics to reduce amount of manual work inside the process. And it's just like living system. So let's summarize. Low code allows to run the systems and run digital transformation very fast, without or with a very little amount of code. And the final solution is very flexible. That that flexible solution could provide very long life cycle comparing with non-flexible traditional software. That's about investment and innovations, in fact. And by the way, The tool for digital transformation could be used to automate not only main processes, but secondary processes as well. That helps to reduce costs, building a cheap solution for back office using the same platforms. And all the data, all our systems, I mean banking systems, could be delivered for users using unified single window concept. And our users don't need to switch between different software. We could just create dashboards to provide access to ABS, CRM, documents management system, remote banking features in one page. So let me just highlight some of our clients' success stories. I hope that my presentation will be available for the audience. So I included a little bit more information on the slides. So since we have lack of time, I will speed up a little bit. The first example is Capital Bank. It's a hair of Sberbank in Azerbaijan, the huge financial institute. And they used a little bit outdated software and wanted to run digital transformation to unite all their branches. And the bank has an amazing team of analysts, really amazing. That was the pure local project, because analysts were analyzing all the time, searching for something to improve. And brilliant team implemented core processes within just a week. You could see card issue within a week, and credits within a few weeks, etc. They implemented more than 200 business processes, mostly by themselves. And it's all about loans, accounting, documents management, sales, collection, etc. Look at this table and searching for bottlenecks. They could speed up the process in multiple times. The total save of business processes were like 30 times in common, and they were a huge bank with a big amount of branches. So it was real hard work that could be implemented only by analysts and business users, not IT driven. There is another example, is a small Russian investment bank. They use low-code paradigm to speed up the main, and they have very, tiny, compact team, but very innovative ones. And a few years ago, they even received an award from Mark's Web as the bank #1 by price of account opening. And I like that quote from their site, like, low-code helped them to reach the level of huge federal banks without their human and financial resources. So it's like the new reality. And let's summarize. Digital transformation in banking, such competitive industry, in fact, should be analyst-driven and business users-driven, because IT staff couldn't see the whole business value picture, and growing market of local tools is the new reality of automation. Reality where we could be more effective, and everyone is becoming like an IT guy, not only guys from IT by themselves. Thank you for your attention.